You just brought home a new kitten. So adorable! You want to do everything right, so you buy the best cat food, the fanciest litter box, and the fluffiest, most luxurious bed. But the kitten, she ignores the food, uses her favorite plant as a toilet, and curls up on the bath mat instead. So you adjust. You swap the food, try a different bowl, move the litter box, even upgrade the bed. Still no luck. The kitten just isn't into your choices. Why? Because you're guessing what she wants instead of observing what she actually needs. And that's exactly what marketing is like without a customer journey map. Now imagine, you can watch that kitten for a day. You'd notice she prefers warm, quiet corners. She drinks from the faucet, not the bowl. And yes, she thinks the dirt in your potted plant is the ideal place for a satisfying dig. Suddenly, her choices start to make sense. The same thing happens when you're struggling to get customers to love your product. You're doing everything you think is right, implementing the best tech, following the latest trends, constantly tweaking, but the results just aren't there. Why? Because you're designing the experience from your perspective, not your kitten's. Sorry, your customers'. That's what customer journey mapping does. It lets you step into your audience's shoes. You watch how they move, what excites or frustrates them, where they drop off. And when you understand that, you stop guessing. You start designing experiences that actually work. It's not about changing what you offer. It's about changing how you offer it so it aligns with how people think, feel, and behave. A typical customer journey map has 5 stages. Awareness, the moment people discover that your product or service exists. Consideration, when they start exploring and comparing different options. Decision, as the name suggests, this is when they make up their mind to go with your product. Then comes the purchase, and finally, retention, when customers are happily using your product and ideally returning for more. Each stage is both a chance to win someone over and a point where you could lose them. They might never even hear about your product. They might find a competitor that suits them better. They might back out at the very last moment. They might start using it and then suddenly stop. And even if they make it all the way to the end, they might never become loyal enough to buy again. But here's the good news. You do have the power to change that, to identify what's going wrong and fix the bottlenecks forming at any stage. Here's how you'll do it. First, you need a persona. It's like a fictional character who represents your target audience. Create someone whose background, goals, and lifestyle closely mirror those of your real customers. Give them a name, a job, even a photo. The more real they feel, the easier it becomes to walk through your customer journey as them, not you. You're not designing for everyone. You're designing for Nina, 24, a practical graphic designer who values functionality over fluff. And the best part? Once you have a clear persona, every decision gets easier. You stop thinking, what do we want to say? And start asking, what would help Nina right now? Next, identify the key touch points where Nina interacts with your brand at different stages of her journey. Is it an Instagram ad? Your website stumbled on while doing her research? A review from an influencer? Perhaps she visits your physical store or attends an in-person launch? There are so many chances to connect. Your job is to map them chronologically. Follow Nina from the moment she first hears about you all the way to when she becomes a loyal customer or quietly drops off. What's happening during the awareness stage? What does she need in consideration? What's blocking her at decision? And once she buys, what kind of retention and loyalty building experiences do you offer? But you're not done yet. You also need to record her actions, feelings, and challenges at each point. What is Nina doing? Browsing, comparing, asking for recommendations? What is she feeling? Excited, overwhelmed, skeptical? And most importantly, what's getting in her way? For example, Maybe Nina clicks on an Instagram ad and lands on your website feeling excited. That's a win. But then she gets overwhelmed. No clear pricing, no guidance on which product is right. Suddenly her emotion shifts. Excitement turns to frustration. And these emotional shifts matter a lot. People rarely buy based on logic alone. A little confusion at the wrong moment, sale lost. A moment of unexpected delight, fan gained. By laying out these touch points and experiences, you're building, yes, a map of Nina's journey. And when you look at it this way, gaps and friction points often reveal themselves immediately. The easiest way to uncover pain points is to walk a mile in Nina's shoes. It might seem crazy, but try embodying your persona and walk their journey. Click on the ads, browse the site, and attempt tasks like signing up or making a purchase. Where do you feel annoyed, confused, or frustrated? If you, someone who knows the brand, feel the friction, imagine how a first-time user feels. The next step is to go directly to the source. Use surveys to get actual feedback. Ask questions right after key moments, such as after a purchase, a support chat, or even when someone abandons their cart with a follow-up email. Simple questions like, what almost stopped you from buying today? Or what was confusing or unclear can reveal a lot. Take it a step further and interview people face-to-face. Speak with a mix of loyal customers, new ones, and people who dropped off. Ask them what drew them to your brand, what hesitations they had, and if there was a point where they almost gave up. You'll often hear insights you never expected. Maybe your product page lacks a basic photo. Maybe your wording is too technical or off-putting. Don't forget to be a silent observer. People love to share feedback online. Check product reviews, App Store comments, Reddit threads, and social media posts. Finally, you can't truly understand your customer journey without data. If you haven't seen our video on product success metrics, add it to your Watch Later playlist. It's a great resource. Here, metrics are important too, as they allow you to pinpoint problems with your customer journey. It starts with attention. One of the first indicators of poor performance is your click-through rate, CTR. It shows how many people, out of those who've seen your ad or website, actually clicked on it. A low CTR suggests that your message isn't creative or compelling enough and people aren't engaging past the awareness stage. If they leave immediately, your bounce rate will catch it. It represents the percentage of visitors who leave after viewing only one page. If it's high, it likely means you have mismatched expectations. People liked your message but lost interest after landing on the page. Now let's say they're interested. They're clicking around, reading, maybe even adding stuff to the cart. That's where conversion metrics come into play. If they don't follow through, it means something along the way broke the momentum. Cart abandonment is especially telling here. People were one click away from buying and then bailed. Amazon's one-click purchase exists for exactly this reason, to make that moment frictionless. Now, let's say people do convert. Great. But then, silence. No return visits. What happened? If your customer lifetime value, LTV, is low, it might mean people just buy once and leave. You could try follow-up emails, upsells, loyalty programs, or simply asking, hey, what could we do better? This data, along with customer feedback, will help you create a list of areas that need improvement. Like, wait, we're investing so much in ads, but we're barely helping people once they land on the website. Or, our support is great, but no one knows how to reach it. This is where things get exciting, because now you're not just reacting, you're strategically designing Nina's journey step by step. Now you hopefully have your customer journey visualized with all the hurdles, pain points, and negative emotions layered on top of it. This is where you start seeing in full color where people are silently giving up. Look at your map and ask, Where does Nina hesitate? Where do emotions shift? Excitement to confusion, interest to frustration? Where are there too many steps, unclear language, or dead ends? Are there any ghost touch points, moments where Nina expects something and it's just missing? Maybe you realize your persona is most likely to visit your website on mobile during her commute, but your site is clunky on a phone. Boom, there's a fix. Or you notice she gets stuck trying to choose between two similar products. A side-by-side comparison chart could solve that. Maybe she's ready to buy, but feels unsure about shipping costs. A simple banner might be all she needs to feel confident. Every insight leads to a small change, and those small changes add up to a smoother, smarter, more human experience. Coming up with an improved journey is not always that easy. So start by listing all the weak points you've spotted and gather your team to brainstorm solutions. Then, add the fixes to your backlog and start working. But how do you know if your fixes actually worked? The answer lies in comparing the metrics before and after the changes. Did the bounce rate decrease? Are more people clicking deeper into the site or spending more time on each page? Is the form being completed more frequently? We'll be honest, no customer journey map is perfect. In every business, customers fall off for a variety of reasons. That's why it's essential to have a clear, visual representation of the entire journey, making it easier for your team to track how customers progress from start to finish. This helps you continuously identify pain points and areas for improvement. But here's the thing. This process becomes even more complicated when you add multiple personas into the mix. Nina might not be your only customer. There's also her younger brother, Sean, their mom, Jen, or even her tech-savvy best friend who always finds a better deal elsewhere. Each one has different goals, habits, and challenges. If you truly care about your product success, you must consider them all. And that's where the magic happens. By creating distinct personas and mapping out their individual journeys, you can craft tailored experiences that resonate with each type of customer. This ensures no one gets left behind, no matter where they are in the process. In the end, a customer journey map isn't just a tool to identify problems. It's a powerful strategy to create experiences that win long-term loyalty. And when you put in the effort to understand your customers at this level, you'll see the rewards in customer retention, advocacy, and growth. Love the video? Next, you might want to check out our video on information architecture, where we dive into how to guide different user personas through your product with clarity and purpose. It's the perfect follow-up. And if there's a topic you're still curious about, drop us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.